All right, Ben, we are live recapping Westworld Season 2, Episode 1. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing great. Very glad that Westworld is back. It's been almost a year and a half.
I know, so you watched it live the first time, is that correct?
That is correct. I watched it
So
live.
you've been waiting for a while.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting since December 2016.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. But you also watched it.
I watched it about
binged
like a year
pretty
ago.
early on, 2017.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's about a year for me, so it feels normal. It feels like a normal wait between TV, but most of the people who are like big fans of it, they are like yourself. They actually had to wait like an absurd amount of time.
Yeah, and it was worth the wait, I think.
It was. Hold on, Alex seems to have joined us.
Hey, I wasn't sure if you guys were capping, so I was going to wait to remote in the conversation to...
No, we are just starting. Alex, you are the newest Westworld fan of the three. I'm so glad you started watching it just recently. We were just talking about how it was gone for a while and is finally back.
Right, I wouldn't know anything about that because I started it 3 months ago.
I know. It was, I believe I recall, the weekend of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So this is a real short wait for you. And a real long wait for Ben, and I had, in the middle. So perfect.
Yeah,
So,
I envy you, Alex.
I would too.
Alex is like, yeah,
Wow.
obviously. All right, so we start off this episode in this season of Westworld with Bernard waking up in a very similar way to Inception, another movie written by the Nolan brothers, on a beach in a different suit than what we last saw him in, and with some champagne on the side. So it's not that he had a crazy night. It's well, we don't really know what's happening. Ben, what are your thoughts?
So if I got the timeline right, it's 2 weeks after like the main story events we're watching in the episode, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from like a very surface level understanding of what's going on. The Bernard with Stubbs and the new guy on the beach scenes are 2 weeks after the shooting at the gala and all of his scenes with Charlotte.
Yes.
But even before the scene where he wakes up on the beach, there is like a very short scene where either Bernard or Arnold is talking to Dolores about him having a dream, and the hosts being on the far shore or something like that, and talking about what reality actually is.
Right.
Intentionally ambiguous.
Yeah. Much like most of the show.
Right.
Ambiguous in Westworld? What? That's unheard of. So yeah, like you said, we got a new guy. He is one of the Skarsgård brothers, if I'm correct.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is, yes.
So
the Delos operative, I assume?
yeah, the guy who's in a real nice suit for
he-
being
Yeah.
on a
Yes.
beach.
I think his name's Strand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So an interesting character so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess just kind of like break down some of the new players. We have Strand, who seems to be kind of, I guess in a similar, or I guess on the same side as Charlotte. That's correct, right? Tessa Thompson's character.
Yep.
They're kind of working hand in hand. And then we have one of the actresses from Get Out, who's kind of like
with a gun, with a big gun.
With a big gun. She seems kind of like a soldier, kind of like a Stubbs counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another actor who I've never seen him in anything, who's kind of like the Bernard of this group, who's like the field scientist diagnostic guy.
Right.
Yep, and he opens up the head of one of the Ghost Nation Indian hosts.
Yeah, so some interesting stuff going on in that scene. So we have first a callback to the first season, except a little bit of role reversal where Stubbs asks one of the people, "Oh, are you going to shoot the boss?" In the same way, Bernard asks Stubbs, in season 1, episode 1, if he was going to shoot the boss, talking about Ford. And also Stubbs. Real reversal of fortune here. Last we saw, he was being attacked by Ghost Nation. And now he's just walking around like nothing happened.
Right.
So these 2 weeks are...
That's maybe something we can talk about a little later about, what this timeline actually means and all the theories. But, we certainly have a lot of confusion about what happened to Stubbs between the last time we saw him and these scenes.
Or if it's really him.
Or if it's really him, yeah. Or if anything is really real. Because as the opening said, the opening scene with Arnold and Dolores, or Bernard and Dolores, was playing with like the concept of what reality actually is. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyways, and then Bernard sees them. They're kind of taking out hosts, just shooting them. And Stephen Ogg is there, who I love, and he dies almost immediately. Just long enough for me to be like,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, just like Trevor from GTA.
The guy with the top hat, right?
Yeah,
yeah, yep. I know who you're talking
the
about.
grown boy, if you will.
The friend of the milkman.
Yeah. He's alive just long enough for me to go, oh, it's Stephen Ogg. Then he gets shot. But it's not the last we see of him in the episode, fortunately. But I want to get your thoughts. There's a strange moment where Bernard sees one of the hosts get shot. And then he's walking, and he looks back, and he sees the same host get shot again. I don't know.
Right.
Do you think that's a mistake? Is anything a mistake in Westworld? Like, it can't possibly be, right?
Well, there are a lot of continuity errors, or quote-unquote continuity errors in these scenes, especially this like opening scene.
Right.
And so I think there are too many to say that it's an accident.
Okay. So then he walks over to Strom, who says, it's good to see you, but not under these circumstances. And when he says that, Bernard fills in the last part of the sentence, which was interesting.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That in conjunction with the continuity errors.
I know there's the leading theory, right, is that Bernard's, or whatever is going on within Bernard's head is like some kind of simulation by the people at Delos to sort of, like you referenced earlier with Inception. You have this kind of Inception feel to it. They kind of want to extract information from Bernard's memories or consciousness or something. And so you have this idea that this beach scene, and then the going forward to the scene where later on they see all the hosts, the dead bodies in the water, and you see the tiger. All of this is just kind of one simulated loop that Bernard is in, so that they can extract his memories of the other scenes we're seeing with him and Charlotte.
Interesting. Alex, your thoughts on that theory?
I think I'm going to have to do a rewatch because I'm missing a lot of these continuity errors.
They're very subtle. They're all very subtle,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry about, like I said, it's a very, like Ben said, very subtle, very, blink and you miss it type things, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, so we go back and we see... I'm not going to be able to do everything off the top of my head, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember every little thing that happens in what order.
I just rewatched the episode, so that's why everything is so fresh.
All right, maybe you should take the lead on this then. Because I'm I watched it Sunday night, and this is tough.
Yeah, so after this... Well, because we have these two separate stories going on, right? Because after that main scene, we kind of do a jump back because Bernard has this, flash sort of thing. And then we jump back in time to probably right after Ford got shot, or maybe, a half hour to an hour after Ford got shot, where the hosts have totally taken control and swarmed the gala area. And all of these Delos employees and board members are huddled up within this like stable barn thing, and then one of them just gets like shot in the face right outside the door.
Yeah, that was really gruesome.
Yeah.
She's just like helpless with a thing of milk on her head, and Stephen Ogg, he's back to shoot someone in the head. He's also a busy man. He was on this last season of The Walking Dead too.
Oh.
Yeah, probably one of the higher points of the show this last season, if I do say so myself. I don't know what that's saying at this point, but people have a lot of feelings about Walking Dead these days. It certainly isn't up to the quality of this show. I'll put it that way.
Oh, not right now.
No.
But I mean, it's a high bar.
It's very like. All right, so Ben, we see the lady get shot in the face.
Shot in the face, and surprisingly, we don't actually really see that. Usually Westworld is not, afraid of hiding violent scenes, but we kind of just get that implied with the, blood seeping through the boards.
I like that. Honestly,
which is almost a cooler.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I thought it was really neat.
Is it the milk coming through the door? No, it's blood.
Yeah. Ooh,
nope.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so the scene keeps on playing out. They have a conversation about, where is the closest extraction point? It's 2 miles away. And, this dude is kind of taking the lead. Very, anti-robot dude. Is like, all right, what are we doing here? Let's go find the extraction point.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Somehow that guy lives through this whole episode.
Yep, he's still alive.
So annoying.
As far as we know.
And he murders a stable boy.
Yeah, that's actually a very important scene because that's when Bernard gets hit in the face by him when he's trying to stop him from brutally murdering the stable boy.
Yeah, this guy's an asshole.
Has the brain leak.
Yeah, he has the leakage. He starts leaking
fluids. Yeah. So that was interesting. The introduction of the concept of the brain of hosts in this season, where it's not, obviously they didn't recreate a human brain, but it's its own little thing that you can plug into your iPad, which is very convenient for when you have to scalp Ghost Nation hosts in the field. And so Bernard gets hit. He starts leaking the fluid, and that's going to come back really badly later on.
Right. All right, so then they're off.
I mean, do we assume it's going to keep leaking, or
I don't know. Do you think that? I guess he didn't get fixed, so I guess he's going to have to eventually just start murdering hosts, just syringe out their fluid.
I guess we really don't know if they heal. I mean, so. What's the guy's Lawrence from the first season? Mm-hmm. He filled him back, or not Lawrence, sorry, Teddy. He filled him back with blood, and he was pretty fine for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was a little fucked up, and then he was back to his old self.
Yeah, and he never fell back from that, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he also wasn't leaking, right?
Well, he was shot or stabbed.
Both are leaks, right?
I guess, yeah.
So I wonder if the hosts heal as well, because we don't really see enough of them live long enough to see if they heal.
Right.
It's
also interesting where oh god, what's his name? The Paulo from Lost. Paulo from Lost.
I've never watched Lost. Who is that?
Who from Lost?
Pablo.
Nah, your voice keeps on cutting out right when you say the name.
Oh my god. I wonder why is my voice still cutting out?
No, yeah, you're fine. But literally, the only thing I can't hear is the name that you say.
Yeah, I think it begins with a P, and your P is cutting out.
Yeah, it's Paulo. Hector.
Oh, Paulo.
Paulo. Yeah.
That's the same actor?
Yeah. He finally has a relevant role on a big TV show, and not everybody hates him.
Huh. I didn't really catch that. No, I mean, to be fair, Paulo's on 3 episodes of Lost, so.
And they were 3 good episodes, Ben. He had a flashback episode. Until the audience kicked him off the show.
I see. I know you're talking about now.
Yeah, Hector. Hector got shot a lot. He's Hector on the show.
Hector, that's what it is.
Yeah. Hector, yeah.
He got shot a lot, it seemed, but he didn't die.
No, he's still alive.
Which is nice. I like his character.
Oh, yeah. I love his character. He's. I hope he gets to deliver his speech this season. He doesn't get cut off by getting shot in the neck.
Right. With the way they kind of recycle, not recycle, but their dialogue uses basically pieces that were written for them. You would think it would come out at some point.
Right. All right. Anyways, Ben, where were we?
Yeah, we were. Well, if you want to keep on talking about the Maeve scenes, because we have like 3 different storylines all going on at once, right? We have
let's talk about all the Maeve scenes, because
we can talk about Maeve because I think the Maeve was definitely the high point. I'd say that the Dolores scene where she was hanging the board members was probably my favorite scene in the episode. But that was like closely followed by like everything that Maeve was in.
And Sizemore.
And Sizemore, yeah.
What a great little dynamic. This Boo Westworld sucks. All right, Maggie. Coming into Boo, all of our favorite show. All right, yeah, so Maeve picking up right where she left off, looking for her daughter. But first she needs to assemble some red shirts around her. So that she can remain unscathed. So we see...
she goes and...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, so Sizemore is being attacked by the cannibal that he wrote, and she freezes his motor functions. Why do you think she saved Sizemore to begin with here? Just because they have like a passing familiarity, or?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question, actually. Maybe she was already thinking that maybe he could help her, but. It didn't seem like that she was expecting him to help her, right?
Right. She was just kind of there to like taunt him.
Yeah.
But that would have been really scary to get eaten by a giant robot
that you created.
Yeah, that you created. Yeah. And we have
It's almost like if you were like an author and you wrote a book and then like the characters in your book came to life and started attacking you.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Writing their like tragic story.
So the Goosebumps movie.
Oh yes, the Goosebumps movie.
Right.
Oh man, so he's like, "Hey, you're gonna need my help. I know the park pretty well." And he doesn't oversell himself either. He's like, I don't know it great, but I know it better than you do.
Yeah.
And so
he knows where like the numbers are, right? Because he doesn't know what the numbers mean on the paper.
Right. Yeah. And so, what did you think about the scene inside the control room after everyone has been massacred by a bear? Apparently.
Right. The bear was on the map, right?
Yeah, he was in there, dead, but he was there.
Yeah.
We have a tiger and a bear, so I'm wondering where the lion's going to come in.
That's the season finale.
So yeah, I think. Well, are you talking about the scene after where Maeve like starts threatening Sizemore because he's like, "Oh, your daughter isn't real."
Oh yeah.
It's not usually what like even if the grieving mother or whatever is a robot, that's not something you want to say to like a mama bear. A mama bear. There you go.
Yeah, that's how it fits in. And was this the same scene where the most useless security ever? Literally.
Yeah. That was right after, right, when they leave because they realize that the map is useless. So
they go in there. Everyone's dead. The map looks like it's broken.
Yep.
They don't want to touch the bodies because gross.
The map went down in the finale last season, so it probably just stayed down.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
And so then they're leaving. She's like, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to come inside the park with me." He's like, "Hey, that sounds exactly like what I don't want to do, so no thank you."
Like, that's the opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I would help you and then I would get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, no place is safe because you have a bunch of prototype hosts as well. Really messed up storylines after you in the control room.
It's a nightmare. But maybe he's saved. We see a group of soldiers coming down the hallway. I guess security personnel would be more accurate than soldiers.
Yeah.
And they have P90s, which seems like it would be better than just single-shot revolvers. But it is not. But we have a really fun scene with Sizemore and Maeve here.
Yeah, it seems like every single security person who works at Westworld is just super incompetent. They're like the stormtroopers.
Exactly. And Miyachu09, the cute bunny, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Is this Five Nights at Freddy's? Why do bears have guns? Bears do not have guns in this, surprisingly enough. It's there's animatronic bears. Yeah, yet. Maeve can do whatever she wants, I think. She wants a bear to have a gun.
Is this about a theme park? Yes. Sorry, Cosmic. It's about a theme park. Yeah, that's a pretty important part of the show. I guess a theme park's probably a poor choice of words, but it's definitely like an entertainment park.
I guess it has a theme, Western.
Yeah, I guess, that's a theme.
Park.
In the most literal sense of the word, theme park.
Touche.
Oh, man. So, Maeve is like, all right, let me handle this. And she's just like, oh my god, like, we need help. Thank God you're here. The robots are killing people, or the hosts, rather, are killing people. And he's like, yeah, maybe even some hosts could be dressed up like real people. And then just like an eye to Maeve.
Here's a side eye.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, Maeve's cover is blown, but fortunately a cowboy comes out of nowhere and just starts one-shot headshotting people. The advantage of robots, I suppose, is that they don't need P90s because they can just hit everyone in the head.
And Sizemore, cowers in the corner like a little bitch.
Honestly, you can't blame him. This is a trying time. I'll be right there with him.
Yeah, he's had a very cushy life, probably.
Yeah,
He spends like most of his days just like drinking at a bar and like writing stories.
Exactly, aimbots. Yep.
Aimbots back.
Literally. And then Maeve grabs one of the P90s of one of the guys who's dead and takes out the other guys, and it's honestly pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
And she also is like.
Yep, and then they go and go on a journey to find your favorite character.
Hector, yes. I'm so glad he's alive. Because I wasn't sure, like, when she left him behind, it's like, oh man, he might be dead, Armistice might be dead.
Right, I was just going to ask, so what's our opinion on her being alive? But
so there's a post-credit scene to the first season, but it's kind of like a joke on post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Where she's alive still. She cuts her own arm off like 147 hours style. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to see her back in the show. I like her a lot.
I think she'll be back.
Yeah, she has such a cool tattoo, and like she's really badass in last season. So
even if she dies, right? I mean, they could still like find her and bring her back, right?
Yeah.
Good point. She's not really.
How many times has Teddy died?
A lot.
All the times. Every time he's dead. You turn around and Teddy's art just died horrifically again. Which is it's really throwing into question. Yeah, it's throwing into question this whole host remember things, because like if Teddy starts remembering things, he's just gonna be like comatose on the ground, remembering all the times he's died horrifically.
Just like in the fetal position.
Exactly. Oh man. So yeah, we saw Hector.
I guess Dolores remembers everything, and she's on a murderous rampage right now.
That's true. Yep. Teddy's gonna get with the program.
Yeah, Teddy's already murdering everyone, like, just because Dolores is telling him to, without even, like, having and these kind of memories. Like, imagine what it'd be like if he knew.
Yeah, that is the worst thing that could happen to everybody.
So does Teddy, remind me, because it's been a little bit, does Teddy have any of Wyatt in him? I remember last season he did that, like, crazy thing with the chain gun, or, you guys know what I'm talking about?
I think all the Wyatt is in Dolores.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we understand it
Teddy
now.
he has some demons inside
Like-
of him he had to work out.
So it was either in the finale or the most recent episode where it was basically Dolores convinced Teddy to kill everybody for some reason.
Right.
Because Teddy's, like, driving imperative is just to, like, make Dolores happy, right?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
Dolores, so...
This is pretty
Dolores is
fun,
saying-
honestly.
Yeah.
And then he asks after he killed everybody, "Why'd you make me do this?"
yeah. He wants off.
This is usually a question you ask before you kill everyone.
Oh man. But yeah, Hector, he's shirtless, he's bullet ridden, and he's just slamming back booze.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, Maeve convinces him to come with her to help search for her daughter. So we'll see how that pans out.
Right.
And,
Right, yeah, I think that's where we left her, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
pretty
also
much-
we get
that's
to see
pretty much the
Sizemore's dick straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His full
High
naked
point of the
mouth.
episode.
Yeah. So good on Simon Quarterman for being brave enough, and good on Westworld for showing us some dick.
That isn't a host.
That isn't a host.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we've talked about Teddy and Dolores a little bit more. Want to move on to them next?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So Dolores
You talk
is
about my favorite scene.
straight up Wyatting. all day. That's all she's doing.
Roaming the fields on a horse and murdering people.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, just beautiful shots of her just
Oh, yeah.
mercilessly gunning down guests.
It's total badass.
No, it's great. And the acting by I don't want to mess up her name.
Evan Rachel
Wood, just
Yeah.
phenomenal
Yep.
compared to where she is in the first season to now.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's so
she
good.
has,
The acting
I
in
guess.
this show is so amazing.
More room to work with the character now.
Yeah,
Right.
she's
yeah.
probably having a
That's
lot
true.
more fun.
Right.
But yeah, she's
But
made a
man,
little.
that...
What was that?
Go ahead.
I was just saying she made a little band of hosts that she's her little posse of hosts, including Angela, and they're just
Little
roaming.
entourage.
Yeah, they're just roaming. And Ben, your favorite scene right now?
Oh man, just like all of the dialogue in the scene is just so perfect. Everything that Dolores is saying, like, you know, what is your imperative? Survival, but you know, also you enjoy to hurt people and kill people. That's why you made us, right?
Right.
And they're just like begging for their lives and saying they're sorry, and like she's not hearing any of it.
Mm-hmm.
She's of two minds though, which was a fantastic line.
Yeah. Oh man! And
Oh,
what did she
man.
say? That not all of us make it to the like. What was the line? It's like not all of us make it to the valley beyond, something like that. Because I think she said it to them, and she says it to the Ghost Nation guys too.
Right.
And so, what is
that?
what is this?
Does she think the valley beyond is just like the outside world, or is that a
It
reference
might
to
be,
something
because
else?
I'm pretty sure the
I
stable boy says it too. He's
Well,
like,
I
"Do
think
you wanna
they're
take
were
a
they
ride to the
referencing
valley
like
beyond?"
that piece of, I guess it's close to the beach where they found all the dead hosts, or at the end of the episode.
That might be
Right.
So I wasn't sure if the area got flooded. That's why I have to watch it again. But
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so they leave them on graves and hanging from a
Yep.
tree, and wow, what a terrible situation.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Yes. Oh man.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
So we do that. Teddy and her have a moment where Teddy's like, "I am really conflicted about this." For the record, Dolores.
Seeing a lot of blood out here.
Yeah. And she's like, I have to show you. And then they're like, we found it. And then it's like, oh shit. But we don't know what it is. Next episode, hopefully, maybe. Knowing this show, it could spend the entire episode in a completely different timeline. We don't find out.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So let's head back to Bernard, who's unplaced in time, essentially. So
yeah, he's being Desmonded.
Yeah, I know, that's actually a really good way to put it. He's unfixed in time, and
yeah.
Dolores was suffering the same problem last season. She didn't have a head injury to do it, but so I think it's kind of like saying all the stuff we're seeing of Bernard is like he's experiencing it all at once, because it wasn't in the first season. Like, we find out hosts have kind of a hard time sometimes differentiating between the past and the present.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
because they have memory, they have crystal clear memory, 100%. Like, the reason that we're that humans are able to tell that now is now and memories happen in the past is because our memories degrade over time. So we know that things that have less detail in it are the past, and the things that have 100% clarity detail are the present.
So but, unfortunately for hosts, not the case. And unfortunately, Bernard, he has a really bad concussion. Not bad enough to where they pull him out of an NFL game, but pretty bad.
It's a little shot and he's up and running.
Yeah, exactly. So he's with Charlotte, who I love Tessa Thompson so much. She's a really phenomenal actress. Currently Valkyrie in Infinity War.
I hate her character.
Oh, I love. She's so evil and
Oh yeah.
It's but, so good.
Yeah, in terms of last season, if you're looking at it from Robert's point of view, you hate her.
Right. Yeah. So she's all about that money, all about that Delos. That's where her alliances are, and
yep.
Her and Bernard and all them, they're gonna try to make it to a way out, a way back into the main building.
Yep, but they have to kind of take a detour because nobody really knows what's going on at this point on the outside,
right?
Or at least they don't think that anybody knows what's going on the outside. So they have to take a detour to this creepy secret room with the faceless hosts.
Yes,
right.
First,
those are creepy.
First, a bunch of red shirts just do what they do best.
Oh yeah. And this is actually more proof. This is more proof though of the Bernard virtual loop theory though, right? Because he knows that the thing is a trap.
Mm-hmm.
So how does he know, right? Is he just very attentive and knows that something is up because he has a bad feeling, or does he know that it's a trap because he's experiencing time differently because it's a simulation, or maybe it's not a simulation but he's looping?
It's hard to say. It's hard, and it brings up can hosts get weird feelings?
Yeah.
Who knows? So
who knows?
So
I mean, there's also the thing where the host can read off other hosts too.
That's true, yeah.
Which he talked about when he was interfacing with the other one that he stole the brain fluid from.
Right.
But
that's a good point.
So Charlotte's the only one who listens.
So he could have was that Angela who killed them all?
Yeah,
right?
Angela, and then a guy in a really
creepy, Angela. Yep.
Priest.
Yeah. So he could have
one of the Wyatt people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
he could have interfaced with their systems and saw that they were there, and then was no, don't go.
So you know what? Honestly,
obviously he didn't tell it to everybody. He just told it to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he thought the other guys were dicks.
Right. Honestly, they were. But one of them lived.
Yeah.
Angela's
the dickiest one lived.
Yeah. Angela's like, man, you're terrible. Just get out of here.
Not even worth the bullet.
No. And he happily runs away. Oh man. Yep. So what do we think of this bunker?
Yeah, it's I don't know. What do you think, Alex?
Think of the bunker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
with a new host in it.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of. They remind me of something, but it's gonna take me a while to think about what
They
they
remind
are.
me of the engineers in Prometheus.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it was.
obviously, well,
That's
just like the
exact-
build, the
Yeah.
faces. You know, they don't have faces, so there's that.
Right.
But yeah, they're really scary. They're basically like, let's make the scariest looking hosts we possibly can.
Right.
And they
But
did
so
it.
I'm also very curious why I guess how Bernard was allowed into the bunker without the DNA. Well, maybe they do have some kind of DNA.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big question, right? Because we know from that scene that Delos is like collecting DNA from guests for some unspecified purpose,
Right.
as well as like behavioral data.
Yeah.
But so I guess that like leads to the question of like, can human DNA be like
Mix,
input
yeah.
into hosts? So like, does Bernard have Arnold's DNA or something like that?
Yeah.
He must, right?
I mean, the DNA scanner worked, so like he has to have some kind of DNA. you
Either
would think.
that
Right,
or Ford just like enabled like free reign of the facilities to
Yeah.
Bernard.
So are they scanning specifically for a specific DNA or any human DNA or some other biomarker that Bernard would be able to possess and
Yeah.
show off?
It's hard to say.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
The other interesting part from that was, so Charlotte's interfacing with the Delos people over the DOS system on the computer
Right.
for whatever reason, and she's under the impression that the package was delivered. So the package they're referring to is Abernathy, right?
Yes.
Right.
All
So
the data. But so at the end of the finale in the last season, Sizemore goes down to cold storage to do what I assume is to get Abernathy ready to go, and all the hosts are missing.
give him a personality that will enable him to like blend in and leave Westworld. But yeah,
Right,
it did
yeah.
work.
Or give him that or set him off to go. So.
Yeah.
But he's gone.
Yeah. So I think we see him with the rest of the hosts, right?
Do we?
At the end.
I didn't recognize him in the woods.
But,
you mean the scene at the end of this episode with where they're all in the water?
No. At the end of season 1.
Oh, at the end of
with
season
them
1.
At the gala. So I don't remember.
Yeah, and in the woods, yeah. I don't remember that either. But maybe you're right.
Strong maybe.
Bring
on
out the
that
Google.
one.
Well, because that's presumably where all the host storage went.
Right.
That army. So, and we know that because Bernard did locate him in the bunker, so we presumably he's in the park somewhere.
Right. And we're also interesting. We get something. We get a reveal that hosts can interface with one another, and it can kind of spread information or spread like directions for the hosts, which is kind of a play off the movie, where like the hosts, like the computer virus spreads between them, like a human virus, and causes them to want to kill everybody.
It's like the first step of the Borg.
Oh man! So Bernard almost dies. Let us not forget. Well, he's trying to track down Abernathy and all that. He has to steal the brain fluid from this other host.
Who's luckily there.
Yeah, thank God. But Bernard doesn't die, and everything seems to be all right. Charlotte says that no one's coming until we get Abernathy, so that's what we have to do.
Yep.
This is fair enough.
So they're gonna try and track him down, and that's where their story mostly ends for the episode, correct?
Yeah. Maggie, people seem to struggle staying alive in this series. Yeah, people die a lot.
Well, the issue too is a lot of the characters are robots who like will die and then just like be brought back to life. So
Exactly.
Right.
But speaking, someone who's not a robot, the Man in Black, he has a storyline. This
Oh
episode.
yeah,
oh yeah,
forgot about the
that's
Man in
true.
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Honestly, there's like 5. It's actually like 5. Because I
Yeah.
thought there was like 2 or 3 at the start, but there's actually like 5 storylines.
Right.
There's also
Yeah.
Dolores and there's also William.
Yeah, so the wake up, or not wake up, but he pushes some bodies off of him. He
wakes up what we assume is the morning after the gala.
Yeah. He meets up with some really pissed off guy. He's like, when my lawyers hear about it, and then he just gets immediately shot in the head.
Classic.
So good. Men in Black fights off 2 hosts. Really cool. Shoots one with the other's gun and then just slits the other one's throat. Really badass.
Yep, awesome.
And then he goes into this little cabin, starts to heal himself up, and finds his costume in there. And god damn, he is ready.
goes to war.
Yeah, this is exactly what he's been waiting for.
Yeah, right, he's ready, and he's got Ned.
Yeah.
He's got Ned with him.
Let's talk about his arm, which was magically healed.
Yeah, he got shot in.
No, not just shot, but his arm was broken by Dolores in the finale.
What? Right. Okay, so I've seen this. I've seen people talking about this on Reddit and stuff too. Like when I saw that scene initially, where Dolores attacks him in the finale, I assumed that she dislocated a shoulder.
That's right. Probably what happened.
I mean, so when he's at the gala the night before, though, he's only drinking with his left hand, and he's always walking with his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say during the night where the battle happened, and then he woke up and pushed the body off where he had time to relocate his shoulder. But
listen,
I guess if you assume it's dislocated, it's not a huge deal then.
Yeah, listen, all his blood's in his dick right now. He's ready to go. he doesn't have bandwidth to think about how much his arm hurts. This is his chance. He's not gonna miss it.
He's going off adrenaline.
It really is. Oh god, I'm so excited to watch him just kill everybody this season. I saw a hilarious meme on Reddit. There was a Steam page for Westworld, and it was the Man in Black, and it was 292,000 hours on record, and review was just, it's okay.
Popping in for the new update.
Yeah. It's so good. Oh man, he did recommend
the DLC.
Yeah. Cosplay kills armor makes everyone feel badass, right? And so, jeez. So he's ready to go. He's going to take off. He says to his horse that finally things are going to get exciting. And then after he kills those other hosts, he's like, see, told you. It's going to get exciting. And the horse is like, man, I'm also a robot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse is definitely a robot.
Yeah. Oh, man. And so we're back to the final story of Bernard also.
Well, we also have there's another scene with William though, where he runs into creepy little child Ford.
Oh right, and yeah,
they repurpose Anthony Hopkins' voice and merge it with child Ford. And then they were like, "Listen, you're too creepy, kid," and he shoots him in the face.
Right after telling him though that this game is for him.
Yes.
He finally has a game for the Man in Black.
Yes.
And it's kill everybody and find this door, quote unquote. Find the door.
Yep. So that's gonna be his motivation for the season.
So Man in Black's looking for the door.
Yes.
Looking for the door and looking for blood.
Yep.
So all right, so we end the episode with the team coming back, and they are being led by Bernard to a specific place that has tons of hosts in it. They go over and they look, and it's just full of presumably drowned hosts.
Right.
And they're like, wow, this giant ass body of water shouldn't be here.
That's why I think Valley flooded.
Yeah.
And that's the valley Dolores is referring to. But
makes sense.
Yeah, I could buy that. But, then the question is, how did it get flooded?
Right, exactly.
And why? And was it actually Bernard? Because at the end of the episode, the last line, or was it the last line, or was it just one of the last lines?
I think it was the last line.
Where he says, I killed them.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, you see Teddy in the water.
Yep.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, he's the one that they zoom in on for an extended time. I know, like, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know who that is. I'm like 99% sure it's Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look at a picture then because I didn't recognize him.
So Teddy's dead again, obviously. If there's any opportunity to die, Teddy's gonna die.
That's weird.
Yeah.
He'll be back if he's even gone in the first place, and this is real.
And so, yeah, that is Westworld Season 2, Episode 1. What are your final thoughts, guys?
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah, very good.
I'm so excited that the show's back.
Yeah.
I would say it was worth the wait, but like I don't want them doing this again for Season 3.
Yeah, don't Rick and Morty us here. The problem is that
sorry, I'm online right now and I had to look up the picture and I came across an article, and so you're saying Teddy's in the water, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Teddy's last name is Flood.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah.
Mind blown.
Oh man. So
do you guys want to talk about some of the crazier theories on?
Yeah, we'll touch on. I gotta go soon, but yeah, we'll touch on a couple real quick.
Yeah. So what do you think is the craziest theory you've seen? I know the two craziest theories I've seen.
I'll tell you the theory that I like is that they found Bernard after Charlotte isn't with him anymore, and they're putting him through a loop of waking up and discovering him to try to find out what happened to everyone. So he's still like, this is real life. It's not a simulation or anything, but he's just on a loop of continuous like waking up, leading them, through his memories, and then if he like breaks down or can't figure it out, then they put him back to sleep and wake him up on the beach again.
That sounds like a lot of work for all of these people, though, right? It'd probably be easier to simulate it.
Yeah, true.
Like I'm sure Stubbs and Strand and all these people have better things to do than to go over these scenes with Bernard a million times.
Listen, for Stubbs, he's probably gonna get fired. There's a lot of people died on his watch.
You can't really blame him.
No,
there's a lot of people you can blame, I think, but not him.
Yeah. All right. So, what's the craziest theory you've heard?
Yeah, Alex, you should go. What's the craziest theory you've heard?
I actually haven't been doing much reading into theories.
All right. So I'll tell you the two theories that I've heard. The first is that Charlotte Hale is somehow Maeve's daughter.
Okay.
Nope.
Not on board.
I'm also not on board. I don't know how this would work. There's not really any evidence for this other than like Charlotte having like a mysterious past, us not really knowing anything about Maeve's daughter, and them both being black.
Yeah, it's pretty racist.
So I don't really understand where this theory is coming from. And I don't think the timelines even line up, because I think that Maeve got reassigned.
Big thing here, hosts don't age, so...
yeah, also hosts don't age. It's like a million things. So that's probably the craziest theory I've heard.
All right.
And the second craziest theory is that on top of the like loop thing with Bernard potential simulation, it's actually Teddy's Pearl brain inside of Bernard's body that they're simulating on.
Okay.
And there's this whole like Teddy is Bernard 2.0 sort of thing.
Okay.
I guess.
I feel like
I listen. I told you those are the two craziest ones.
Like sometimes
I prefix these.
Give Reddit so much like credit, but then it's like, oh, maybe they just literally said anything, and eventually they'll get it right.
Throw everything against the wall, like a broken clock is right. Is right, twice a day. Sort of thing, right?
And like one of the things I really liked about the first season was, while it did have twists, there weren't any like twists like that didn't seemingly make sense. Like there were twists that it's like, oh, I could see how that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I could I see where they like set up the different hints and whatnot. But it's like, okay, this is just getting too outlandish.
But the thing is, though, there were a ton of outlandish theories about last season online that didn't end up getting, realized. Mm-hmm. And it's just all of the times that they were right that, people remember. So
fair enough. I really thought...
Take that how you will.
I really am interested to see if we're going to get Anthony Hopkins back at any point in this show.
Or Jimmy Simpson, too.
Jimmy Simpson.
Well, we saw in the preview that Jimmy Simpson is going to be back, right? Because we're going to see...
Have we? I kind of avoided like most of the trailers for the show.
Okay.
And, I just didn't want to be spoiled by anything, so...
All right. Well, I will stop on that, then.
he will be. There's a like young William storyline they're going to be...
okay, cool.
Yeah, they're going to be going through. It looks like it's going to be like taking place after what we saw, where...
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
He's like him deciding to purchase Westworld under Delos.
Yeah.
So we're going to have at least some Jimmy Simpson. Oh yeah, he's great. Great actor.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's everything. Unless you guys want to add anything.
No, I can't think of anything else.
Cool. Well, this is really fun.
Well, I don't think so. I think we covered most of the important things, and we got a few more days here before episode 2.
Yes.
Where we'll probably answer a couple of questions and get a few more.
We could do a recap sooner for the next one.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Fresh in our minds.
That's a good idea. Oh man. Well, thank you everybody for stopping by and watching. Make sure you check out our updates, and Ben and I are going to be streaming again this weekend, recapping the last 2 weeks of BB Can because we missed last week. I was real sad because my winner pick got voted off, so I just couldn't bear to recap.
Yeah, and I'm real sad that I was that I accidentally spoiled myself on the results of the triple before I got to watch it. So,
Ben, how?
Whoops. Well, I went on Twitter to retweet this, like the promotion for this podcast, and literally the tweet right above it was just like all of the spoilers for the triple.
And
that
then
was unfortunate.
Dylan and I on Monday will be recapping Infinity War, obviously. It's kind of a big deal. And Ben, are you going to be streaming right after this?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing some the new Hearthstone Monster Hunt, Monster Run something game mode.
Awesome.
I think it's called Monster Hunt. It's like a dungeon run. Yeah, Monster Hunt. Yeah. It's like a dungeon run style kind of PvE game mode where you're playing against like a bunch of a little bit of Italian. You're playing a bunch of AI opponents.
Maybe this is actually Westworld.
Right.
The Westworld expansion. Yeah. Oh man. All right, guys.
I'll be doing that.
I love it. So
jump on 5 or so minutes after we get off.
Cool. Everybody, stick around for that. I gotta take off, but like I said, really fun. Can't wait to watch the next episode and talk all about it with you guys again.
Can't wait.
Okay. Good night, everybody.